Some tips on riding through extreme heat on your motorcycle. Let's get into it. Alright, what's going on YouTube? FXDLS Brooklyn is back in the building. And recently I made a video about a couple of upgrades that I made to my hot rod dyna in order to run this bike through the most extreme heat, especially on the bike trips in the summer. And I figured I wanted to follow the video with some helpful tips for you if you're trying to face off against the hottest possible miles on your bike trip in the summer. And I wanted to make a follow-up video just having some tips for you if you're someone that's planning to crush the hot weather miles this riding season. So the first tip I have for you is the most common mistake I see out on the road, especially as I'm getting closer to Sturgis, is people's initial reaction to riding in extreme heat is to actually squid, is to stop wearing their gear, stop wearing their jackets, and run in a tank top, run in a t-shirt, because that makes sense, right? In normal life, when you're not on a motorcycle, once it starts getting hot out, you put your winter coat away. You're going to have less layers. So logically, it makes sense. But scientifically, here's why it doesn't make sense. When you decide to squid on your motorcycle, yes, you're not going to have a hot jacket on you, but the problem is that you're not going to get your body's natural air conditioner, which is known as evaporative cooling, aka you just sweating. What'll happen is it's so hot, the sun is going to bake off and wick off that sweat, not letting your body have the chance to yield the positive result of sweating, which is cooling down your body, because again, the sun is going to bake off the sweat before it has a chance to even do that. Now, if you get yourself a good jacket, such as my custom First MFG jacket here, not only do you now have a way to be protected in any gnarly situation, but you are now covered so that when the sun is beating down on you, you will still get that evaporative cooling without your sweat being burned off. So it's pretty counterintuitive, but like the biggest tip when it gets hot out is wear your gear and wear your jacket, you know? Next time you see some roofers out there in the hottest weather, take a good look at what they're wearing. I promise you they're not going to be wearing tank tops and t-shirts. They're going to be wearing long sleeves, and it's for that reason. Now, while we have this here, let's talk about this. There's so much good gear out there for the hot weather riding. This is just one example, and again, this is a custom jacket from First MFG. So basically what I did is I took one of my favorite jackets that they make, which is the Raider, and I had them perforate the entire thing. So now I'm getting the protection of leather while also getting maximum airflow that's coming through this. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. There's times where it does feel like I'm riding in a t-shirt, but I know that I have the protection of a jacket, which by the way, I do have CE level 2 armor in this as well. And I also know that I'm getting that evaporative cooling when things get really hot. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about the First MFG custom jacket program. You know we gotta have the FXDLS Brooklyn. We know we gotta have the custom netting in here. But yeah, this thing is super light. Like I said, fully perforated, you know. And again, even with running CE level 2 armor in this, I actually feel I've been running this thing all summer and I have yet to yield from the extreme heat. So get yourself a proper jacket. And if you don't want to go the custom jacket route, they also make the Turbine, which is what I ran on my road trip last year, which again is a fully perforated leather jacket. So the gear is out there. There's really no excuse in 2024 to not wear good gear. So what I gave you is just two examples of two really good options that you could wear in the hot weather. So go check them out. Alright, so my next tip, this one is groundbreaking, you won't believe this, but it is this one simple item. This is just a standard bandana, right? The reason why this makes such a big difference when things get really gnarly in terms of the hot weather riding is what I like to do is I'll take this when I'm stopping for gas. I will soak this up with the coldest water I could find, usually in the gas station. I'll wrap this around my neck, and you won't believe, especially with wearing a perforated jacket, what effect that has when the wind starts blowing on you when you get back on the highway and continue your bike trip. Just like your body naturally sweats as the natural air conditioner, this is kind of accelerating that process. And again, there's just some science in having a cool fabric against your neck that actually winds up cooling your entire body. Like, there is science behind it. I'm not going to go into it. But honestly, one of my biggest tricks, especially when it gets really, really hot out there, I'm talking 100 degrees or more, is simply wetting a bandana and wrapping it around my neck and continuing. Like I said, if you've never done that before, whew, you gotta try that, man. That, my friends, is a very simple and easy way to crush those hot weather miles. So I could kind of go on and on. There are many things that I do when I face off against the hot weather miles. I guess the last thing that I'll talk about is running a modular helmet has definitely been really helpful when things get really hot out. So number one, just having a helmet that has the drop down visor. If I know that I'm going, say, under 60 miles per hour, I'll open the visor up and I'll just let that drop down visor come down, and I'll get maximum airflow coming through my helmet. So that little thing makes the hot weather just a little bit more bearable, especially if I'm not doing highway speeds. And now if I'm doing a bike trip and if I'm running a water bladder with me, it's really easy for me to just flip this helmet and hydrate on the go if I need to. So running a modular helmet is a home run if you're trying to face off against the hot weather miles. I've been typically running the Simpson Mod Bandit. We actually recently got my dad the new Shoei Neotech 3, so excited to see how he does with that. Pretty good Father's Day gift, right? Don't sleep on a modular helmet. That could really make the hot weather miles that much easier, especially if you're standing still and you just want to completely flip the helmet up, whether you want to get breeze on your face or you want to drink. It makes a huge difference. So yeah. So that's all I got for this one, y'all. Like I said, do not let the extreme heat dictate your miles. I only just named a couple things. There are so many other strategies that you could use to survive the hot weather miles, which is why if there's something I did not cover that you think is really important, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. Like I said, I only touched on a couple, and I'm sure you all have a lot of great tips. So that's it, y'all. Stay safe and stay low, and part of staying safe is setting yourself up for success when the conditions get hard. We do have new merch. Go check it out on outrideyordemons.com, and we're going to close it out here. FXDLS Brooklyn is out.